Hi everybody, today I'm going to design this flip-flop. I'm going to turn it into this one. This is the project today. Okay, to start you need one pair of flip-flops. You need some bead wire, you need some bead pliers. You need scissors, a ruler. You need some wire, fishing wire or bead wire is good. And then you need a number 7 or 8 or 6 needle. Make sure it's strong enough. You need some diamond wrap. It comes in all colors. I have here blue and yellow. So you need a diamond wrap of the color of your choice. And they also have it in white in Walmart. Then you need some glue, E6000 or Gorilla Glue, which is clear grip, or this one from the dollar store. I haven't tried it yet. And then you need the design to cut the pieces from the diamond wrap. You need two blue ones for the middle. One for the middle and 2 for the side. Then you need two diamond wrap, excuse me, one for this side and one for this side and one for the middle, which is 3. A big one for the middle and 2 small one of the size from the side. Then you could make your own design, which I made these. I made my own design. Which is on the flip-flop. And how I did this, you could take any kind of jewelry and you take your jewelry and you glue them together. And I use this plastic candle. I use that and I cut it. As you can see in the back of it, I cut it and I glued it on overnight with a 6000 glue. And I let it dry overnight and I did all 3 of them. And that's what I'm going to use. You could also do, I did all the ones which I have here. These are made with the jewelry. With these are singles. Each are singles, and I glue them together and I put the little diamond in the middle. Glue them with the E6000 and I put them away. I made this one. And I have more that I've made. And this is all in another video. If you want to see how I made them, it's in another video. Okay. Alright. Let us start. Sorry, but you also need a ruler and a clamp. Okay. Now let us start. We're going to take the flip-flop and we move the other one to the side, and we're going to remove the strap from the back. a beautiful day today. You can hear the birds. Okay, so we're going to move the flip-flop to the side, and we're going to take our strap, and we're going to cut the short part of the strap. And the short part of the strap is this one, is this side, as you can see. So I'm going to leave the short part, I'm going to leave the short part on, and I'm going to cut the long part. And to do this, you take your scissors and you cut it like this, sideways. There we go. We're going to take this part right here, and we're going to cut that for it could be nice and smooth instead of having any bumps there. Alright, just don't cut it too much, just smooth it down, the same smooth as the rest of the flip-flop. Alright, like that. Now we're going to take our ruler and we're going to measure this one that I made. It was an 8. It was a size 8, as you can see. So I'm learning from the first time. It's a little bit tight because I made it too long here. So, but someone petite could still fit the flip-flop. So I'm going to continue making it an 8 because I want them both to be the same number. So this side is an 8, and that's what I have to cut. The measurement, 8 cm. So you take your ruler from the bottom and you measure 8 cm and you cut it right there, nice and straight, like this. Now we're going to put this in the side for now, and we're going to take the other two that we had cut and we're going to put them together. We're going to sew them together. But make sure, you see how this is like this? Make sure you cut it straight and even. That way you could sew it together nice and even. Now I'm going to sew it. You could sew it like this and go around with the wire and the needle, and make sure you go from each corner too, that you sew each corner and sewing from here, there, all the way to the end, going all around for it could be secure, nice and tight. Okay, all right, I'm gonna sew, starting, put my needle here, and make sure you for this you're gonna need your pliers, because this is pretty hard for the needle to go in, so you're gonna need the pliers to push it in. Okay, all right. There's a lot of cars out there with their music playing today. All right, now you take the other one. I sewed from the beginning on top of the ruffle area, going in, but it doesn't have to be showing too much. Alright, now you take your other piece and exactly where you sewed at, the same side, you go in with your needle. And like I said, you need your pliers here because it's kind of hard for you to push in with your hand. So I need the pliers to push the needle in to have a little strength there. All right. So you continue doing that. Continue sewing around. So you continue sewing around, couple laps where it could be nice and secure. Okay. Okay, I finished sewing it, and now I'm going to close it up. I made a knot, and this is the way I secure it. I let it go, the needle go across 2 or 3 times. You could do this, or maybe just 1 is good, and then you just cut it. Then you just cut it if you want, or you could go again. Excuse me. I'm gonna go again one more time, and then I'm gonna cut it. Make sure it's right in the middle between the strap. Okay, like this is good. Let's just pull it. Pull it nice and tight, and then cut it. Then you cut it right there. So this is done, and now I'm going to sew this part. Before I sew this part, I will measure it so you know what size it is, how long it is, because the flip-flops are size 7 to 8. So, and I guess it's for somebody who's petite, because I made this a little bit kind of too tight. So whoever has a skinny feet will fit that. This is why you always have to measure. Alright, so it's a size 20 cm. So it's 20 cm. Alright, next you take that part of the flip-flop and you put it together, line it up together, and you hold it, and then you squeeze the top. This is how you're gonna know it's in the middle. And you squeeze the top really good. Make sure it's even. It has to be even. From the bottom, it has to be even. All the way to the top, and then you put the needle in there. You could line it up with a piece of marker, that way you know where it's at, the middle, where you're gonna sew it. But usually I just take my needle and go straight up to the middle of it, and I push my needle in there. It's gonna take a little force. Here we go. Sorry about that. So that's the middle. That's gonna be the middle where you're going to sew the other part, right between the middle of it, right there, like this. So you sew it in here, take the needle out, and we're gonna go around just like we did with this side. Okay? All right. I finished sewing it, and I didn't cut. I knotted already, but I didn't cut the wire because I'm gonna take my design that I made and I'm gonna sew it right here in the middle, like I did with here. I sewed it first, and then I put this second. So I sewed the flower and both sides of the leaf, and then this is second. And that's what I'm gonna do. So I kept the wire, made a knot on it from the one that I was sewing this together, and now I'm going to sew my flower. The way I want to do it, the same way is like this. So I'm gonna put it like this, and these come with little tiny holes in it already too, on each corner. I mean on the top and in the bottom of it. It comes with little holes that I could put the needle in. So I'm gonna put it just like this, the same way I have it here. All right, gonna start from the bottom of it. I have to look for the hole. And there we go. That's the hole right there. Okay, so I'm starting from the bottom leaf on the top hole. And make sure you have a skinny needle that's going to fit through those holes. A 6 or 7 is good. All right. Once I have it in there, I could sew it right into the strap. But I have to make sure that it's even the way I want it. Exactly. So always keep your flip-flop there to make sure that it's the same. And it's straight in the middle. Alright, so I'm going to go through my flip-flop, through the strap with the needle. And I have to use also, again, like I said, you have to use your B-wire pliers to do this, because if you're strong enough to pull that needle out, hey, go for it. But if you're not, use those pliers. Some people have arthritis, I don't know, you know, and it's hard for them to really, you know, pull anything. All right, so that's it. So I'm gonna continue doing this and going through all the holes. I'm gonna go through the hole and then go down through my flip-flop. Then I'm gonna go back up from underneath and go through this hole and go back down on the flip-flop. Each one I'm going to do. Each hole here, there's a hole here, and there's a hole in the bottom on each bottom part. So I'm gonna sew it through the flip-flop and then go back in and then go to the next one, and I'm gonna do that to each one of them for it could be secure and tight. Okay, I finished doing this side, and this is nice and tight, and I did this side, and now I'm going to put the other leaf on the other right side. I sewed this one already, and I sewed all the little holes around it through the strap, and now I'm going to sew this side, the other leaf which is this one. I'm gonna sew it in there, and then I'll put the diamond wrap. This is how it should be look like. Okay, you could glue it or you could sew it. If you glue on your material, wherever material you made, wherever flower, you could glue it with the E6000 or Gorilla Glue, but you have to wait overnight for it to dry up. Okay, but I'm just gonna sew it because this already has little tiny little holes on the bottom and on the top, so I could sew it so it could be secure. All right, let me finish up. Okay, I finished it up the other side. I did both sides. Sorry about that, but I finished up both sides now. And now I'm going to close it up by putting the needle crossway right through the strap. Then I'm just going to cut it. I'm going to cut it right there. Okay, I didn't show you, sorry about that, but I didn't show you how I sewed it, because I guess you know, if you have your own stone, you know how to sew it from inside of the strap to the stone. So I sewed it around all the holes so it could be nice and secure. Next I'm going to do is the yellow and the blue diamond wrap. Okay, the yellow and the blue diamond wrap. The long one is for the middle, and the short one is for the side. You could do it from there. You don't have to go all the way. You could cut it right there to the end of that part. So you could always measure. Now you could glue it on if you want with E6000, or you could sew it on. I was going to try to glue it on. I ran out of E6000. I don't have any more, so I have the clear grip, the Gorilla Clear Grip, and I was going to try to just glue it on, and that's gonna take a while for it to dry. Make sure your things are even on the corners. That was gonna take a while to dry when I put the glue. The sewing is faster because I could just put it right in onto the flip-flop without gluing, and I don't have to wait. But if you want to glue, you could glue. If you want to sew, you could sew it. It's going to be like this. And I think I'm just going to not sew it, wrap it around with the fishing wire. Wherever wire you have, if you have fishing wire or bead wire, or even ribbon, or any kind of strong yarn you could use. I think I'm going to wrap it around with the wire better. All right, so I'm gonna lay it together, the ones they go together, since I'm gonna double it, and I'm putting the blue one in the middle like this. Make sure it's even, and then I'm gonna wrap it around with the wire. Let me get my wire ready over here, like I did many times on the other flip-flops. I want to thank everybody for your comments and for subscribing my page, DIY Flip. Thank you very much. Continue watching, and just want to thank you. Okay, I take the diamond wrap and I take the other one and put it in the middle. Make sure they line up together. It's going to be a little bit hard, but you have to really hold it tight. You have to hold it real tight with your thumb. Take the wire. Take the wire from the... I don't cut it yet, but take the wire from the fishing wire, and I'm not cutting it. I'm just leaving it like that. And when I'm done, I'll cut it. Take the wire, make sure it's even, and you're going to place the wire in the middle also. The beginning of the wire, place it in the middle. You could always, like, if this is hard for you to do, you just tie it together first, the top, the wire. You could tie the wire together on the top, that way it could stay. And then if it's too hard for you to hold, you know, but you have to do it very gently. And you take it, and you take the wire, and you put it in the middle, like this. I want to make sure mines are even. Mines are together. Let me just lay it together first. Alright. Let's lay it together. Lay the wire on top of it. And put your thumb right between the wire. Like this. You're going to have to go like maybe 4 times. Slowly. On the beginning, just go slow. But make sure, on the second one, make sure you grip it tight. You could always line it up. You could always line it up. Do it again. Maybe like 2 more times, like 4. Just for it could be nice and tight. Okay. Take that wire. It's hanging there. I have to put it down. But it could connect together while I tie it. I mean, while I wrap it together. I'm going to wrap it together with that hanging wire. Alright, I got the first one on. The second one. 1, 2, and 3. Always keep your thumb there, for it don't have to be loose. Go to the next one. Don't worry about it, because you can always line it up. You know, if it's uneven, you can always line it up. Alright, go to the third one. 1. And careful, because usually it gets wrapped up and tangled. That's 1, 2, and 3. Alright, I'm going to follow going down, lining it up. Follow going down to the next one. And it's the 4th one. And that's 1. And this part is not sewing, so you're only going to sew in the end. When you get to the bottom, you'll sew it. But, okay, 1, 2, 3. I'll do 4. Alright. So you see how I have it? Always line it up if it's crooked. But it should be looking like this. Always take it with your nail and make sure you line it up. Alright. I'm going to continue doing all the way to the end. Okay. Got the needle. And I put it through the thread. And you notice I have a short thread. I don't have it long. Always keep your thread like this long. Not too short, because it will get tangled when you have it real long and you're doing any sewing, it will get tangled around the strap. So now I end up to the end, and I'm going to, I end up in the end, and I'm going to go through with the needle on the back side, and I'm holding on to the wire and push the needle right through, because this is where it's going to tie it from the wire getting loose from the diamond wrap. Alright, so there you go. It's nice and tight. Let me just cut. I don't like the way this is sticking out here, so I'm just gonna cut that. Let's even it up. Alright, so we're going to do that a couple of times. We're gonna go through the, you can line it up when you finish. You can always line it up and straighten out, but we're gonna go through that again. We're gonna go in through there, not on the diamond wrap. We're gonna go on through right there on the strap. Hold your needle and get your pliers and push it in. There we go. And I want to tie, make a knot on the end of my wire. Oh my goodness, sorry for my nails being dirty, but I was doing a little garden with the dirt, with my flowers. Alright, so we're gonna go and push it in. There we go. Make a knot in the back. Go through there, through the wire, make a knot. We're gonna go through the wire like this. Keep your finger on the wire, and we're gonna go around the wire like 1, 2, and 3, and this is where we're gonna make a knot and tie. Oops. You have to do it gently because these knots sometimes they just get stuck. Just happened to me just now. So when that happens, you go through the wire because I don't want that really to be all knotty there. Alright, so what I do, I go make another knot in another part of the wire, like up here. I'm gonna make another knot right here. Doesn't matter if you use thread or wire, lace. I'm gonna cut that a little bit there because I don't want it there. So I'm just gonna cut it. It's fine if I cut it, because what I could do, I'm gonna go around it to make sure it don't come out, and then go through it again with the needle on the back side. There we go. That way that piece right there won't be so hard when you have your sandals on. It won't be on your skin so hard. It'll be soft. Alright, one more time we're going to go in the back from the front to the back, and then we're going to go across and finish it up. Okay, now I'm going to take the needle, take the needle, oops, get stuck again. Alright, take your needle, and we're going to go across. This is where I always end the wire, when I go across, maybe 2 times, or 1 time, or 3 times, doesn't matter, just as long as you go across to end it. Here we go. Alright, just like that. This is where I'm going to end it and cut it. So you tie it up good. And I'm going to take the needle. I only did 1 time. Take the needle, I mean the scissors, and I'm going to cut the thread right there. Alright, and that's nice and secure. So then you could fix everything up that's crooked. Line it up straight together. Okay. Alright. So this is the way it should look. You could fix it up. If you see that it's all crooked, just line it up straight. It's fine. Without breaking it, just line it up. Alright, so this is the way it should look, like this. Now we have 2 more to do, this side and then this side. Alright, I'm going to finish this side now. Alright, we're almost there. Alright, I did both sides. Both sides is done, and now it's the middle. Both sides done, now it's the middle. Now for those that I was trying to tell you earlier, that if you cannot hold the wire together with your finger and it's giving you a hard time like this, what you do, you could take the wire and go in the middle, in the back of the hole, on both, well, yeah, both sides. Go in the back. And this is going to make it easier for you to really go around with the wire to keep it steady. So to keep it steady, this is for people who can't keep it steady. Okay, so what I'm going to do, keep this one a little bit long, the end, and I'm going to tie it, not too tight, not like a real tight, okay, just tie a little bit like that. That way it could be it could be together. You could tie it again, but not too tight, just so it could just stay together real light like that. Then you can hold it steady like this when you're going to wrap it. See? It will stay together steady. Oops, sorry. It will stay together steady like that. And it won't move. So that way when you're going to put it on, you hold the wire, the diamond wrap is going to be steady for you because you had tied it a little bit. Alright, now you can wrap it on the first one. Remember, it's always the first one. Make sure it's lined up right. Now you take it and you go around not too tight, because you have the first one inside the middle, the string. So we're going to wrap it on the top first. That way it could be nice and tight. All right, there we go. I wrapped it first on the top. Now I'm going to go and I'm going to move down, and I have to do it tight on the second one. Here we go, right there. Now you're going to do that one tight. Make sure it's tight. Okay, 3 times or 4 times. Usually I like either 3 or 4 times on the top. And make sure it's nice and tight. There we go. Like that. Always line it up, just like that. Now you go to the next one. The next one is over here. Oops, you go to the next one. The next one is right over here. Alright, the next one I'm going to do is on the second line, right there. Take the wire, 1, 2, and 3. Alright, 3 times. I'm going to turn it this way. Turn it the other way like that, but it could be easier for me, but you don't get tangled. So the next one is going to be this one, the third one. All right, 1, 2, 3. Moving down with my finger to the next one, right there. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna go continue, line it up, and I'm gonna go to the next one. 1, 2, 3. If you lose where you at, just lift it up and you know where the last wire was. Okay, so I'm going to this one now. All right, here we go. 1, 2. I gotta make sure I pull my diamond together, but I could make sure it's lined up. 1, 2, 3. And make sure it's nice and tight. The next one, 1, 2, 3. This wire is from the beginning wire, so I still could leave it there and go around it. Alright, continue going down and continue finishing it all. I'm going to finish the rest. Okay. Alright, I finished to the end. And the last one, make sure you wrap it 3 times. And then you take your clamp and you clamp it right there together with the wire and with the end. Then you take a little bit of your wire. Now you could cut it. Just take a little bit, not that much, because you're just going to sew it in the bottom, close it up. Then you take your wire and your needle. Alright. Okay, I finished both sides and the middle. So now the last thing we have to do is put it together. Line it up first, make sure that your diamond wraps is even. And this is how it should look. Alright, now I'm going to take the flap, flip flap, and I'm going to put it together. Here we go. Put it right back inside where it was. because we're finished. Alright, if you see any strings, you know, you could just cut it, snip it. Alright, we push it in. Make sure it's in. Turn it back up around. Alright, then we put the other one in. Alright. And this is how it should look. People could put glue on here if they want. But I don't put glue on there because it's nice and strong. Alright, so this is how they should look. So I'm all done. Okay. This is how they look. That's how it came out. Alright. So I finished this project. Okay. Bye.